Hello and welcome to the show today. I am your host, Terry Ann Russell, and today we are talking about unlocking your soul's wisdom, a journey through soul passages. Today we're going to dive deep into the essence of the soul, the higher self, and the oversoul, and how a soul passages session can help you release the old and step into the new. This is work that I've been passionate about for many years. I was trained in past life regression back in 2018. And it's been a huge part of not only the clients that I work with, but the evolution of my soul. It's saved me through, an extensive loss of my son. And it's been able to give me the ability to see the bigger picture of this expansive life that our soul lives and what the soul desires while it's in the human form. Many years ago, when I was living in Sedona, my friend and I would do these spiritual hypnosis sessions every week. And what we found was this amazing information would come through about what each of us were to do and how we were connected and what we did in past lives and how we were continuing the work now in this life. It brought each of us huge transformational shifts in our personal life and our business life. It also created a safe environment for the both of us to be able to then transform and learn and evolve from the past that had hindered us before. So a soul passage session is a guided spiritual hypnosis journey where your soul communicates its deepest wisdoms with my soul. And I love this type of session because I get to interact. It's not your typical spiritual hypnosis or ancestral session. It is my soul interacting with your soul. So my soul speaking directly to your soul, channeled wisdom and guidance from my soul, while your soul is speaking through you. And you are also bringing forward that information from your soul's energy. Because in a spiritual hypnosis session, you're in a light theta brainwave state, you're very relaxed, very safe. We can access the subconscious and the higher realms through that state. We're able to release past blockages, past trauma. We're able to look at ancestral patterns and deep-seated beliefs that can now be released that are no longer serving you. It's a transformative experience. At the end, my clients always describe feeling lighter. They have more clarity. They have a deeper understanding of why they're here, what they're supposed to do, why they had some of the challenges and obstacles that they had in this lifetime. I use a sacred energetic container that was given to me by my son in spirit. And those that know me know that I have a son, Anthony, that's been in spirit for almost 6 years. He passed when he was 27. And he works beside me daily in my sessions, in my home with my family. And he gifts me sometimes these beautiful accompaniments to my work. The sacred energetic container is one of those. It's a beautiful container of light and protection. We call in guides and angels, the higher self, the oversoul. And we create this safe energetic space for you and I to communicate. Many of you have heard me use the sacred energetic container in my meditations as well. I use it at night before I go to bed, and I use it in the morning when I wake up. I want to talk a little bit about understanding what the soul, higher self, and the oversoul are. There's a little misconception. This is one of the questions that I get often about the soul. What's the difference between the soul, the higher self, and the oversoul? So the soul is the essence of who you are. It carries the experience across lifetimes. That experience is something that some of us will remember and some of us will not. But through a spiritual hypnosis session or a soul passage session, we're able to access that information. The higher self is your divine wisdom and inner guidance, always leading you to the highest path. The oversoul is the collective consciousness of your lifetime, existing beyond time and space. Connection to the higher self is made through stillness and quiet. That is the number one thing that I tell all of my clients that want to enhance their spiritual abilities or start their spiritual journey is the importance of getting quiet and getting still. And I can tell you out of probably 50% of them have a huge resistance to doing that. And here's the reason why. If we get quiet, if we shut our brain down for even 5 minutes, we have a deep innate fear that we will not be doing something productive. One of those old limiting beliefs that we have that we always have to be working or doing something productive to be useful. And that's simply not true. In this new energy that we're moving into with the divine feminine, the being, there isn't so much doing, but there's more being. It's learning the balance of both. So while the soul, the higher self, and the oversoul are each three different components of the soul, it confuses many people. But how I like to think about it is like three parts of a puzzle, right? You have three different pieces. Each puzzle piece connected together make a complete picture. But separate, each piece is individual in its own right. So we need the three pieces of the puzzle to make the big picture. But each piece of that puzzle is also a component to the individuality of that piece. So the soul, the higher self, and the soul, or soul. I use soul passages to help people with their spiritual awakening. One of the things that I've been told many years ago was that I would be in a place to help people, to begin people in the place that they are, because that's where I came from. And really, when I started my spiritual awakening, there wasn't much support that I had at that time until I moved to Sedona, until I found my tribe, until I found my people. So the awakening is a process of shedding the old and embracing the new. It's embracing the new light. We're awakening to the old falling away and where the new begins, and those old outdated beliefs falling away. These sessions help by releasing those outdated beliefs, healing past life traumas, and connecting you to higher guidance and clarity and purpose. I also help you to be able to connect with your own higher self, which I think is one of the most important things, because even though we may all hear, see, know messages, very few of us trust what those messages are. I want to talk a little bit about how to release the old and invite in the new. Many people on their spiritual path, and I included very early on, thought, I was easily transformed through the process of reading a book and shifting my mindset at that time. And that was only one piece of the components of the puzzle that I was opening and awakening to. So when you're having a spiritual awakening, it's very important to start cultivating that time, that relationship that you want with your higher self. In order to release the old and invite in the new, we have to do things differently. If you're accustomed every day to getting up out of the bed and running straight to the shower and going to work, that is something that may be old energy. Whereas now you're being called to relax, wake up a little earlier, Set the tone for your morning to meditate, receive messages, journal, pull cards, whatever it is for you, do Reiki to get into that space. Sit out in the garden and have some coffee before you begin your day. Um, surrender and power. Surrendering power is one of those things that if you have it energetically burned into you, it may be harder for you to release. We all have these things and we look at them and it's like surrender. How do I surrender? How do I change my mindset? You know, once you have gotten to a certain point on your journey, it will be easier for you to surrender to even the challenges and the obstacles. Many years ago, I would fight through those currents, right? I would be swimming upstream as the salmon do, and I'd be fighting my way. When I learned to pretty much let go of what that was holding me back, I had a much easier transition into the new. And as you progress on your spiritual journey, you'll see that these things will get easier the more that you do them. Visualization is another piece that I love to use with clients. The more that you can visualize or daydream, and I know many of us, myself included, were told that daydreaming is bad for you. But you know, as a child, I would visualize and I would daydream about things that I had no concept of what that actually meant at that age. But that was the visualization technique that brought many things into my life. I was able to create easier when I was a child because I was able to visualize and daydream these things into existence. Your brain does not know the difference between something you tell it and something that's real. So if you tell your brain that you are happy and healthy, whether you are happy and healthy or not, your brain will believe that you're happy and healthy, and you'll start seeing those shifts in your life. So it is really about creating that space to visualize. I take a lot of time during the day to sit in the garden and I visualize what it is that I want. I create scenarios in my head and I write things down about how I want my life to be specific. Before I started dating after my divorce, I was very detailed in the man that I now wanted in my life and what I wanted him to look like and act like. And I made this huge vision board of what I wanted in a relationship, how I wanted to be treated. And about a year later, it happened and it came true. He walked into my life. And that's just one example of many that I've experienced. My clients have experienced um, amazing shifts and changes through the visualization process that I had taught them. So, soul passage sessions are written and verbal related content. When we go in a session, I'll bring you into a theta brainwave state of light hypnosis. I will do the same for myself. And I will bring in channeled guidance from my soul to your soul and from your soul to my soul. This combined effort is key in holding the infinite space from my soul and your soul to speak, to bring forward that sacred energetic container to help you see exactly what it is that you need to let go of, you need to release, and what you need to do to start bringing in the new, what you need to do to start changing your life. So I'd like to invite you if you'd like to create a session for a soul passage session with me. Just go to my link tree and you can book a session on there. I encourage you to start journaling about what it is that you would like your soul to release now. March, we're in this beautiful, expansive energy, and there will be brought much change that's coming forward, and it's needed. Um, I'm going to be doing an upcoming question and answer live workshop, and it's free. So you can always jump on and catch me live and answer questions there on Facebook. But I'd like to invite you, if you'd like to start looking at what it is to begin to journal. I think the importance of journaling isn't spoke about enough. The importance of creating that space for yourself to tune in and allow your soul to speak to you. And some people call it soul journaling or soul guided journaling. And it's just a very relaxed state where you can get into that space of connecting with your higher self. And then the more you do this, the more you'll see that you'll begin to trust what your higher self is saying. When I receive messages now, although they may seem crazy to the human aspect of me, because I have the logical, analytical part that says, well, how is that possible? And how is that going to happen? But the soul already knows the plan, and the soul knows the guidance that's coming through. So the soul knows that it can be done. It's just up to us to allow that analytical mind to be laid to rest so that we can do the work that we need to do while we're here. I thank all of you for joining me today, and I'm very excited about these sessions, and I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to like, share, and follow my channel, I'd appreciate it. And I hope you'll have a blessed and wonderful day.